Next meeting, I need a motion just to approve the minutes of November 20th, 2018. Ms. Frazier. Mr. Driscoll, I think I saw your hand up. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. We'll move right into the treasurer's report, because we've been
Morning,
waiting all
everybody.
afternoon. all morning.
Occupancy tax is up almost as much as what the sales tax is up. I handed out a brochure. We're up about $183,000 from December 31st of 18 to December 31st of 17, which is 4.17%. That figure will go up some more because we usually don't complete our collections until the end of February, first part of March for 2018. So that figure is going to go up some more. Questions? Okay.
Any question for the treasurer? Yes. Yep.
Mike, is there any work done by your department to try to figure out where it's up and where it's down?
Location-wise? No, we don't look at that. I can, because we have to break it up by where it's coming from, so we could do that analysis. I have not done so.
Excuse me, the reason for the ask is because there's new development. You're getting some changes year over year. You'll get a half of the year of a property that contributes, then the next year they contribute a full year. So that can be a meaningful contribution to year over year change. So just to be sure you understand how much just 6 months or 12 months of a property. So for example, 2 years ago, Courtyard Marriott, difference year over year was $130,000 in collection. So it can eat up a lot of variance just because of the timing. And then the other thought would be in terms of ups and downs. This is not for private sector use, but for the county use. Are we seeing some dynamics that are moving around that might be interesting? For example, properties not on the lake are struggling because their occupancy tax is down. Properties near new development are down, which is the impact of new construction. And it's, again, just for awareness, because those are all variables over time that can help us better predict where's occupancy tax going to come up, down, how much.
We can look into doing something like that.
All right, thank you. Mike, is that all you have for us?
Well, I can see I'm next on the agenda for,
Yep.
so I'll just stay right here. Basically what this is, I had talked to this committee before about hiring an internet company to come in and scrub the internet looking for all the short-term rentals within the county, right? And Joanne and I got together and worked quite a bit on this. We talked to several different companies and decided that, and what we want to do is basically, and I'm going to jump on your side of it a little bit, Joanne, if you don't mind, is to do 2 contracts, one with my office, the treasurer's office, for $1,000, actually not to exceed $1,000, for us to get a one-time list of all the short-term rentals within the county, all right? And then have another one done maybe near the end of the year. And the other part of it is, and I'll have Joanne explain what kind of information she's looking for in the contract with the tourism office to get other information on the short-term rentals. And hers, well, I'll let you decide, tell what you have.
It's very much the same as the Smith Trend Report. So when Mike and I were looking at the different companies, there were 4 or 5 out there. Some would do just what Mike needed. Some would, they were just, this company in particular gave us the best combination of what both departments needed. So they will give me supply, demand, average room rate. They'll break it down into each community so that Mike knows, in terms of the OCTAX distribution. In addition to that, I can choose peer sets, which I do with STR, and I can also choose specific events. So if I want to look at Americade Week or Balloon Fest Week, then they will do a specific event analysis. So I've chosen a couple of comp sets and a couple of our major events for this first year, just to see how it works. So it will factor that into the Smith Trend Hotel.
Right, so we're looking for approval to enter into basically 2 contracts, one from the treasurer's office, one from the tourism department, with all the rooms. And we had talked about whether or not at the last meeting occupancy tax should pay for this or whatever. I believe that occupancy tax should be paying for both of these contracts, but I will leave that to the discretion of the committee.
Well, that's the resolution that we have, number one, the resolution for 1,000 for the Treasurer's Department. We'll do them separately, but both of these will come out of occupancy tax reserve.
Correct.
So I'll need a motion on number one for the 1,000. Matt?
Make a motion. Also have a
Ms.
question.
Frazier?
Second that.
I got a question.
Go ahead, question.
Would you be able to share the information with the towns, with the assessors?
In a manner, yeah, because what's going to happen is that the information's going to come in based on zip code, and we're going to have to readjust that, because obviously that isn't going to be quite accurate when you figure that, the north half of Queensbury is in the Lake George zip code, and so forth, how those things work in the county. So we're going to have to go back in and massage this data to get it to that point where it's by town, and we have to know that anyway so that we can distribute based on the percentage, okay, because this has to go into that. So when we get to that point, then we will be sharing that data.
The reason I brought that up, our assessor has been scanning the internet and all sorts of avenues trying to find out which of our houses are being rented and used as a commercial property when they're really not a commercial property. And the reason why she's onto it is because of this, I'm trying to think of the tax. When you live in your home and you get the star exemption.
Oh, yeah.
You
Oh,
can
yes.
only collect your star exemption in where you live. So we found a couple that needed to be corrected. So we want to follow up on that also. That can be a big impact.
All right, so we got a motion and a second. All in favor for the 1,000 we're talking about?
Aye.
Aye. Do I get aye, all in favor? All right, that's passed. And the second one is the same thing. It's for the Treasury Department, $4,960. I need a motion.
That's the tourism.
That's the tourism.
Tourism.
Ms. Frazier?
I'll make the motion.
Matt Simpson. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. All right, we got those two done. Thank you.
Thank you.
What's that?
Yeah, the next one, we have to
Yeah,
appropriate.
it's coming out of the tax reserve.
But we have to make a resolution.
Both of them.
Yeah, we need a
Okay,
resolution.
we got it. Do you need a resolution to come out, or?
Yeah.
Okay, and we need the resolution to take the money out of the tax committee.
I'll make
Ms.
that
Frazier
motion.
again, Mr. Driscoll. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, passed. The next resolution, where we need a resolution to approve to move the money of the $250,000 to the Civic Center for 2019. But I didn't finish it. But I really think before we move this resolution, we got Lisa's going to explain. We did change the contract for the Civic Center, and it has been modified. Dennis was working on it with Lisa and the treasurer and the attorney. It's just to make it simpler. The first one was, like 8 pages long. Now we're down to 3 or 4. So Lisa will explain that.
So hopefully everybody got my email last Friday, where I attached the old contract as well as the new contract, and gave some reasons why we wanted to do this. Basically, the Civic Center is a venue for us, and even though they hold events, it's causing a lot of extra paperwork to report on every event. They had this study done last year by Camoin Associates out of Saratoga Springs, and basically what that stated was that 72% of the attendees that were coming to the Civic Center were for hockey games, and the vast majority were day visitors. And over the last 3 years, actually the attendance at events was down, but went up substantially for the hockey games. So basically what we want to try to do is take the pain out of all the reporting on this, and have the Civic Center come on a quarterly basis and tell us what their activities are, and then at the end of the year give us an attendance record and an income statement so that we can check on their, how they're doing financially, that they're a viable venue to, for us to be funding. So it just makes it a lot easier. The Civic Center has a very limited staff to do the tremendous amount of reporting that was required by the previous contract. We just feel this makes things easier. We want to fund them going forward and make it as easy as possible for everybody.
Move it.
Questions? Go ahead.
Oh.
No. I'll move. Matt, do you have any questions?
I'll second.
Are you, all right, I'll take a couple of quick questions.
No, you said that just a yearly report?
No, every quarter.
No, a quarterly.
Oh, you did say
a
quarterly, all right, that's what I was gonna
Right.
say, a quarter, all right, thank you. All right,
Quarterly
thank
report.
you.
Lyle?
Chairman, thank you. I'm not going to go on the same topic as I was before because you guys should probably all figure out where I'm headed with this. But I wonder about the returns we're getting based on $250,000 and only what percentage? I'm sorry, there was a certain percentage that were from out of town? The majority are from locals, right? Day visitors?
That's correct.
So, I don't want to contest the value of that facility, but I'm wondering, is there a sunset clause in the $250,000 that we're providing to the Civic Center in the next few years? Or is this something that we foresee continuing out for year upon year upon year upon year?
All right, I'll answer that basically. I think I'm right, I'm not sure, but it's yearly. It's a yearly, we vote on it every year,
There's no
so...
commitment to extend this over the next few years?
No, there's no they have to come in yearly, and they show us the reports, and that's how it gets settled in our budget time.
I would just say it's important to say, we would hope that they would become successful to the point where they wouldn't need assistance from the county. That's the goal.
That's the goal.
That is our goal.
That was the
And,
goal, to give them some time to become self-sufficient. Deidre?
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. A question in terms of the reporting, and this is not, I want to be clear, there's support for the pool insuring arena from the business community very high. It's a question, though, about, from the committee perspective, or whoever's responsible to oversee the use of occupancy tax. If you don't have the detailed reporting, which I know can be cumbersome, but how does the committee or the county oversee that the use of the occupancy tax dollars falls within and under the law? So, for example, can pool insuring use occupancy tax to repair a roof? And I'm just trying to illustrate the oversight on the use of those funds. We understand that it's there to promote tourism economy. So let's change the words a little bit. Tourism economy. So now you would connect pool insuring benefits a restaurant in Glens Falls, which is a tourism industry. Therefore, OCTAX is good. Right? You can connect the dots sort of that way. But it's therefore the use of typically promotion, those kind of things. So it's just a question because the public's not aware to see what you all turn in. Right? It's just a question of how is there an assurance that the monies that are spent that are occupancy tax based in fact fall within the remit of occupancy tax dollars spent.
You want to
Is there
answer?
a clause to be added?
Yeah, absolutely. We're happy to
Thank you.
basically in our reporting, what it was used for. We've done that in the past. I'm not sure how other entities report that same issue. I would imagine they all have that same issue. And so we'll certainly work within the parameters of that. We know used for any structural things. It's always been used for events and promotions, and we're happy to detail that in our event report. I have no problem.
Yeah, I haven't seen any difference. You've been putting them in, you're staying in. There's a lot of gray area in our old-fashioned regulation that may be time to maybe zero in better, but right now I don't, like towns, we can't use it on sidewalks or paving roads or, but anything that brings people to the community. And even the hockey brings people. And it even brings locals, and locals spend money at the restaurants too, and gas, and so I think you've been in, and the ones I've seen over the years, last couple of years, you're in the in the realm.
Well, we certainly don't want to inappropriately use the funds from our perspective, so we have looked into the past requirements and what to be within the guidelines, but we'll double check
The
those
only-
again.
The only basis for the question is, because of competitive reasons, the only people who can see them are you all. Right? So if we were simplifying funding, I just wanted to make sure it still met the minimum. Which it sounds like it is. And it has been. Thank you.
Ms. Bramer.
Just to piggyback on, this is something that we need to work on for all of the events that receive our off-tax money. And I know the tourism department works hard to collect all this information from all of the events that we give money to and all of the venues. It's just, we need to stay on top of it and really get the recipients to do their part in responding to our request for information. And I'm not sure that I agree that it's not available to other people. I mean, it is public they are public documents, so I'm not sure why you couldn't boil them.
Well, every person that gets the tax money has to have it in, I think it's by March 1st, right? All the towns.
I don't know what date, but it's March.
It's
We have
March,
to have it in.
everybody, like my town, we get it, everything we spent, everything we did comes into the county, or not to the treasurer actually, or no, the attorney, by at least March 1st. So the Civic Center does the same thing. With that said, it is a public document. If we want to sit down and really go through every one of them and read them, it would take some time, but maybe a committee could do that, a small committee. It's up to Dennis, I'm not the chairman of this committee, so.
I think a correction, the Civic Center doesn't have a March 1st deadline, I believe that's just.
Oh, just for the towns, what's theirs?
So they would give a quarterly report.
Okay.
And then at the end of the year, you would give us a financial statement and then send it. And the only caveat to that is for year, for example, 2018, it may take a little bit of time to finish up year end, make sure it's audited financials that you're receiving. So if you get that within the first quarter of the next year, sure. But otherwise, absolutely.
All right, any other questions on that? Yes.
Just want to comment in regards to occupancy tax being generated by the hockey. I mean, itself, and every single away team stays at Queensbury.
Right.
And we can't, I can quantify that. We can quantify, obviously Federation tournaments. We buy out for 2 days. Volleyball has a lot. So there is a lot of rooms that are generated from the events that happen there as well. And, I don't know if locals are staying overnight when they come down, but we definitely have an uptick in business anytime that there's anything going on at that center.
I personally think you're doing a great job. That's just my opinion. All right, now we'll make the motion on issuing a resolution to move forward with the 2050. You have the motion already? Okay. Has it got a second?
Yeah.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. All right. And the only other comment on here was Dennis is still working with the Black Dog design for the festival space. I'll move over to Civic Center Coalition. Got a report for us?
I just have one comment on the Festival Commons site.
Yes.
I know it might already pass, but I just thought that maybe rather than spending money on more than one of the area's event spaces, that would it be better for the county as a whole to spend the money and have one website that was designed for all of our outdoor venues. So have Festival Commons, have the Warren County Fairgrounds, have Steel, Crandall Park, all of our facilities under one umbrella. It could maybe feature the Festival Commons, but I think that it might be better to have one spot, because I think right now that we are limited to is that there isn't one kind of clearinghouse for all of the outdoor venues that we have, countywide.
Joanne.
So we are working with the CDB on our website, lickgeorge.com/meetings, but we're kind of developing with Kristen and Gina the lodging properties that can host medieval conventions, and there will be a page for venues, and that could be the answer if we develop that a little bit more. I mean, certainly each of those venues are listed there now, so do we need to do more work to facilitate that? I think we could talk with the CDD and with Tanya to work on that. If you're thinking, you know, bigger and
I'm just
better,
saying,
or...
if we're gonna invest county funds into one
Mhm.
specific venue,
Mhm.
what about all the other venues in it? And would it be more sense to have, if we're gonna have a venue that's funded in that way, shouldn't there have maybe even links to, yes, this might be that site, but what about all the other places that we have countywide?
Okay, Jeff. Go ahead, Jeff.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we did do an economic impact study, which we released a few months back, but the analysis stated from the time we took over the building, the impact was $10.6 million, and since we've taken it over, this year was $13.2 million for our community. So we feel really good about that. In 2015-16, 150,000 people came to our arena on an annual basis, and just last year, 208,000 people came to our arena. And the report does say, back in 15, we supported 131 jobs in our community because of the arena and activities, and we're up to 155 jobs currently because of the activities at the arena. So we believe those are all very positive steps that we've taken since we've taken over the operation of the arena and now the hockey team. But 2018 specifically, we hosted 83 events in the arena, 22 events in Heritage Hall. Certainly the Adirondack Thunder had a really good year. They hosted 45 home games. We hosted 11 basketball events, and a lot of the events that we do every year, rodeo, Federation basketball, the girls' New York State volleyball finals, the Globetrotters. We did a lot of floor shows last year, which not all ticketed events, but that kept us pretty busy, especially in the fall and then the spring when the arena was typically a little bit lighter. We had 2 weddings actually last year, and that's something we're trying to get into, if we can update Heritage Hall a little bit. We only had 1 concert last year. Certainly that was not our goal. We had 2 other really big concerts booked and planned. Unfortunately, got moved to different arenas at the last moment before we were allowed to announce them. So that was kind of the year at a glance. Certainly, taking over and owning the Adirondack Thunder was a big leap for the coalition. It was widely reported the last year that Calgary owned and operated the Thunder. They lost over $1 million. Certainly, the coalition has been tremendous. Contributing money to get the arena from the city of Glens Falls. We don't own it yet. And then the same thing when we knew we were going to lose the hockey team, the coalition came up with a bunch of funds to purchase the team from Calgary. And just a few months ago, we made our last payment to the Calgary Flames, so we actually own the hockey team. But we were very fortunate the first year the community really came out to support the team. Our ticket sales were up 30% in year 1, which is the biggest increase in the ECHL. Our corporate partnerships went up tremendously. So we were fortunate enough last year to break even. We made maybe $1,500 operating the Thunder. So compared to losing over $1 million and to breaking even, we're very fortunate. So the community's been tremendous to us. Certainly we appreciate all the support that Warren County has given us over the years, the city of Glens Falls, and New York State as well. So 18, it was a good year. Certainly hockey was a priority to get the team stabilized. We recognize without the hockey team being our major tenant, long term the arena probably doesn't work. So that was a priority last year. A few things moving forward to 2019. We've already booked 2 big events. We'll announce one next month, and then we'll announce another one in March for a big July show we're excited about. We get the final vote in early February on bringing back the state high school basketball public tournament to Glens Falls. We've gotten 2 of the votes that were necessary. There's one more coming up in early February. We're very optimistic. We know how important that tournament is to Glens Falls, Warren County, and our region. The Aurora Games, as Tyler Herrick's here, we announced last week. Tyler did a lot of work, and we'll have the Aurora Games, which will be a women's hockey event at the Cool and Shring Arena in August. It'll be a week-long event celebrating female athletes. A lot of it will take place at the Queensbury Hotel and the Cool and Shring Arena, so we're very excited about that. It's a new event. And then in May, we're working on a spring show with the Post-Star and Regional Radio to bring another show to the arena May 18 and May 19. So that'll be a new event. We're pretty excited about that. And certainly, Adirondack Thunder Hockey, we're doing well on the ice this year, but tickets are up 10%, again, compared to last year, the 30% leap we had. Our corporate partnerships are up 10% as well. So we're doing very well. We're excited about where the team's at. Certainly, expenses go up every year, as they do for every business, but we're in pretty good shape. So that's kind of my report. I'm happy to answer any questions y'all have.
Jeff,
Yes.
one thing, I think that's a super report, but I think that's something that you should put out and bring in a bunch, or we can print them up, because that might help Mr. Wild on some of his, are we getting our money's worth? And
Okay.
Mr. Dietrich, when they question, are we getting our money's worth?
Yeah.
That's a perfect report to say, I think we are.
Okay, well, we're happy to come here whenever you want.
You know, when you come to talk to the
Yeah.
group, I mean, if you brought 8 or 10 copies, we can make more here, but it's nice that the committee has it right in front of them, and if somebody speaks up, we can, you know,
Okay.
you relay that information, it'll help ease their mind that we are doing what we're supposed to be doing.
Okay, I'm happy to make this more of a formal report without my
That's what- yeah, that's
scratching.
what-
I can email it over to Liza, she can get it out to the committee.
I think it would help a lot to
Yeah.
answer questions that people come up with, are we getting our bang for our buck type of thing, and what you just reported, I think it's well working.
Well, great, thank you. I'll get it over to Liza early next week, and if you'll get it out, I
All right,
appreciate that.
thanks. Did I see? Yes.
I did have my hand up because I just wanted to make sure that that did not go unnoted. They have an economic report showing they have an economic impact of $13 million.
Thank you, that's what I've tried to say.
Exactly. The two other things I want to point out, though, is that the state basketball tournament coming back, that's going to be huge, hopefully, it passes.
Yeah, thank you.
And the Aurora games in August are also a really enormous event for us. It's being hosted in Albany, but the fact that Tyler was able to get the women's hockey games up here in our Cool and Shoring Arena with players from all over the world, it's going to be a U.S. team playing a world team, is amazing to bring additional tourists to our area. Those are going to be people from all over the world coming to see. I just wanted to highlight those points, make sure they weren't lost in this day that's been going on
Since 9 o'clock. But that, Jeff, it's really important. It's important to me, and then I think this group here, so that we can answer questions that people say, are we getting our bang for it? Everybody's looking to make sure we're making the right moves, and I think 99% of the time, 95% we do. So you guys are doing a great job, and just keep it up. All right, CVB's not here. We'll move, anything from the floor. Anybody have any questions, comments? Motion adjourned, so we all can go home. Frazier, Mr. Driscoll, all in favor?
Actually, it was.